I'm so excited. Okay, so I cheated and did one heel already because it was so cute and I had to do it. And I wanted to show you what it looks like once it's done. But we've done our 8 stripes in the contrasting color, and now it's time to start the color work on the heel. So before we get started here, there are 2 different methods of color work that are pretty popular. One is stranded, that's also known as Fair Isle, and the other one is known as Intarsia. When you do a heart shape, you use both. So we're going to learn how to do stranded color work today, and also we're going to learn how to do Intarsia, which is super, super neat. Okay, let me show you what I have here. So here's the one heel flap. Oh my God, it's so cute. So your foot goes in this way, which is why the heart is upside down. But when you put them on, it will be right side up. It is so completely adorable. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to turn it over here. So you can see the first part of the heart is all stranded work. And then over here, there's no strands that go across the back because we're using a method called Intarsia. So we're going to learn both of those. All right, so let's bring the pattern in here. Okay, so we've already done what we want to with the stripes, so we're right here. Using the main color, slip 1, knit 14, make 1, knit 15, and then turn. So we are now working back and forth on the heel. So you can see here that I stopped working in the round and I just worked on the heel flap. Then what will happen is we'll pick up stitches along here and along here to rejoin in the round. All right. So it says using the main color, slip 1 and knit 14. So you can see here I've slipped the first one because it's still the previous color, okay? And I've knit 14 and now I need to make 1, okay? So my favorite way to make 1 is I'm basically going to just, let's see, this is a make 1 right. So a make 1 right, you grab this from the back, you grab the little piece that's in between the stitches there, see that guy? You grab that guy, and then you're going to knit him through the front loop. So I like to use this finger to kind of roll that stitch forward so that there is a little bit of space in there to get underneath the front part, okay? Now, this stitch is meant to be difficult because you put a twist in it so there is not a hole. See how that little piece is a twist? I'm not sure if you can see that, but that little gray loop that I just picked up is now twisted. That hides the hole. Okay, so now I'm going to knit 15 until I get to the end here. So once I get to the end of this, it wants me to start using the chart. Now, the whole reason that I added a stitch here is because half of these, because we did ribbing to start, there is an even number of stitches here, okay? So by adding this one right here, that gives us an odd number of stitches. If you look at the chart, you can see there's a center stitch. So you have to have an odd number of stitches in order to center your heart. So that's what we're doing. All right, so now if you look at the chart, it looks like I have to do 1, 2, 3 rows in just my main color before I start the heart, okay? So I am going to do my 3 rows and then we're going to start the heart. All right, I have done all 3 rows of the main color. And if you look, you can tell that I've been working back and forth. I'm not working in the round anymore. See over here, these are still the gray color. Okay, so we're working back and forth. So I knitted and I purled. Actually, I'm sorry, I purled, I knitted, and then I purled again, and now I'm ready to knit. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the chart here. Okay, so it looks like I need to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before I join the color right here. Okay, so now one thing that you need to remember is you are always slipping the first stitch. So even when you turn around over here and you're purling, you're gonna slip that first stitch also. So I'm just gonna slip that first stitch at my yarn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, also one thing I want to mention is it does tell you in the pattern to break your contrast color. So you can see here that I have cut off my gray ball and I have moved it to the other side, or moved it aside. Sorry, I'm being distracted because my cats and dog are running around like crazy people right now. Oh, they're barking. Okay, so it is now time to do 3 stitches in the pink. Woo! All right, so I'm going to find my pink yarn here, or whatever color you've decided to be your heart, and I'm going to make a little loop out of it like this. Okay, so I've just got a little loop here, so I'm going to go ahead and insert into this first stitch. Then I'm going to grab that loop and loop it around the top of my right needle, and then I'm going to stitch it. Okay, now I'm going to go into the next one because we need 3 of them. So I'm going to shake the tail out of there so that I have the live yarn, and I'm going to do number 2, and then I'm going to do number 3. Okay, done. Now this strand I'm going to set down back here. I'm going to grab the strand of the main color, which is my white, and I'm going to go over the top of the pink. So I laid the pink down on the fabric. Okay, so now I'm going to knit this. See how there's a gap right here? Okay, there's several different ways to deal with this. We are actually dragging this yarn from over here across these 3 stitches, and we're going to knit this next stitch. So that will kind of keep it together. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Okay. Now what you don't want to do is pull this super tight, because that will make this stitch here drag over to this stitch here, and it will pucker these 3. So if I turn it over, you can see that this is just that strand that I stretched across is just nicely laid there. Okay. It's nice and firm, but it's not puckering. Okay. It might take you a few tries in order to get that part right, and that's okay. All right, so I'm going to set that there, and let's get the chart back in here and let's count, because I don't want to screw this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the white. All right, so I already have 1 in there. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to stop at 3. Here's why. If I do all, what did I say, 7 stitches, okay? If I do all 7 stitches, then when I lay this yarn down and I pick this one up, this is going to stretch across 7 stitches. It's going to leave a very long strand. Okay, so here's what I like to do. Every 3 stitches, you want to hook the future strand into the current strand. Okay, so I've knit 3, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pink live yarn, I'm going to put it over the top of the white yarn, then I'm going to pick up the white yarn and keep knitting with it. Okay, so I'm going to do another 3, 1, and I'm going to pull it a little tight right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. I am going to lay the white yarn down. I'm going to grab the pink, which is over here, and I'm going to put it over the top of that one. Then I'm going to grab the white and pick it up again and do 1 more stitch, just like this. Okay. Now, looks pretty good on the front, right? But look, on the back, that big long strand that the pink was going to make by stretching across 7 stitches is now 2 shorter strands. See that? Now when you put your socks on, you won't get your toes caught in there. Okay, great. So now my pink yarn, I'm going to lay my white down. I'm going to pick up my pink, just like this, and then I'm going to knit another 3. Let's just make sure we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so then we're going to do 1 and a 2 and a 3, and then we're going to set the pink down and we're going to pick up the white. So you can see here I'm constantly passing this one over, so that means that this ball and this ball are going to twist around each other as you're going. But it's really easy just to take a time out and pass them back and forth. Once you get really good at this color work business, you can actually remember to pass one over the top and then pass it underneath and then over the top and then underneath. So if you think about that, the two balls actually won't get tangled. I have the worst time concentrating on that sort of thing, so I just go for it, and once the yarn doesn't pull anymore, then I stop and untangle things. All right, so I've got the 3, I've laid my pink down, I'm grabbing my white. Let's get those out of frame so it doesn't mess up my focus. Let me grab my white, and now I'm going to knit all the way to the end. All right, I am now at the end, and it's time to turn it over. So we're going to turn it over, and now we're going to be purling, because don't forget, we are working back and forth flat instead of in the round. All right, so I'm gonna flip this bad boy over like this and straighten out all my yarn. See how it's kind of getting twisted here? But it's not really, I mean, there's only a few twists in it, and really you just kind of go blurp, 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 and now we're untwisted, so not really a big deal. Okay, so let's look at the chart. So now we're coming back this way. So it looks here like I have 1 extra on this side, so there's 5, and that's centered over the 3 I've already done. All right, that's easy enough. Okay, so I am going to slip the first one, and then I'm going to knit until 1 stitch before I get to the pink section here. Okay, so I have 2 more. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. Okay. All right, now I need to start knitting with this pink one again. So I'm gonna, now here's something that's very important. These, when you start knitting with this pink strand, it doesn't naturally cross over this white one. If I start knitting with it, I'm going to start knitting with it right here, and this white one's going to be over here, and there's going to be a big gap right here, okay? So if these 2 strands do not naturally cross each other, you have to do it manually. So I'm going to lay this pink down, I'm going to put the white over, and I'm going to pick the pink up and then start knitting. So you can see that when I go to knit this stitch right here, the pink yarn will catch under that white yarn, and then later on I'm going to take the white yarn and I'm going to go back this direction when I knit back here, and it's going to tighten everything up. Does that make sense? Or even when I come back over this way, because I am going to use the white this way, this will be caught over it and it will pull this stitch toward everything else. So if these don't, like I said, if these do not cross naturally, you need to cross them. So I'm just going to go over like this, and then I'm going to grab this pink one and I'm going to start knitting with the pink. Now again, 1, 2, 3 stitches, but I have 5 to do, so I'm going to lay this down, put the white over the pink, make them friends, and then do my last 2 stitches. So again, you have to kind of remember every 3 stitches, you want to make these guys friends. So I'm going to lay the pink down, pick up the white, and I'm going to go across the white section until I'm 1 stitch away from the pink, because then I'm going to do 5 over this one. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 2 more to go, but I want these guys to be friends. So we're going to lay the white down, put the pink over the top of it, pick this up, okay? When we do a crisscross like this and continue knitting in the same color, this is called catching the floats. I'm going to lay this down. And now, see how this is floating over here? When I tug it a little bit, it's not, you know, floating all the way across here because I have caught this float. So that way when I stick my little toes in here, my toes won't get caught in all of these strands. Okay, so now these cross naturally. Here's my white, here's my pink. It's going to go across and I'm going to do my 5, except for that's more than 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lay the pink down, put the white over the top of it, pick up the pink again. 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to lay the pink down, get the white. Oh, here's my tail. Let me just tug on this because it's causing some problems where I started the pink. Lay the pink down, pick up the white, and now I'm going to purl to the end and turn it around. So you can tell that there is a lot to concentrate on in this particular piece of color work. So you definitely want to be in a quiet place and go nice and slow. Oh my gosh, totally little parts of the heart. Go nice and slow and really concentrate on the pattern, slipping this first stitch, making the yarn overlap when you're changing from one color to another if it doesn't occur naturally. So it looks like, again, I'm going to come over here, and this is going to be a pink one, okay? So now I'm on the front side, so I can't really see what's going on back here, so I have to kind of turn it over, and this is not going to cross naturally because this one is going this way and this one's over here, so I want to do a little crisscross like that so these guys can be friends. Then I can come over and do the next one. 1, 2, 3. All right, turn it back over, lay the pink down, find the white, lay the pink down, white over the pink, pick up the pink again, turn it back over. 4, 5, 6, that's another 3. So here we go. Lay the pink down, go over the top. You get the idea, okay? So let's quickly look at the pattern. We are going to, I'm going to work until this row right here. So again, we've got, in this row, it's really long right here. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, twist the yarn, 4, 5, 6, twist the yarn, 7, 8, 9, knit 1 white one. 1, 2, 3, twist the yarn, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, you get the idea. Don't forget to twist over here too and twist over here when they don't cross naturally. So I'm going to go ahead, you know how to perform row 9 with what I just showed you. So I want you to get to row 9 and come back here and let's meet for row 10. On row 10, we are going to start Intarsia, which is a different method. It's not stranded. So get through row 9 and I'll meet you back here for row 10. Okay, I have finished row 9 and now I'm about to start row 10, which is going to be Intarsia. So I've done this row. This is my last single knit here in the middle. So I'm ready to start row 10. So here we go. I'm going to slip the first stitch and then I'm going to find my ball yarn. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to knit 2 here. Okay. Now it is time to start the pink. These do not cross naturally. Ooh, sorry. Time to start the pink. These don't cross naturally, so I'm going to cross them before I pick up the pink. Okay. Now, this time we're going to knit all the way across, and we are not going to take this white strand and loop it through here. We're going to just leave it right where it is. So we're going to leave the white strand behind at this point. Okay. All right, so I am now knitting all the way across my heart. Okay, so I'm now all the way across my heart. Okay. Now, if you look over here, your white yarn is way over here. We do not want to stretch it over because your toes will absolutely get caught in that sucker. So we are going to switch to Intarsia. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to find this ball of yarn that we're working with. I'm going to untangle it from the pink one. Okay. Now I am going to find, so you can see I'm pulling from the outside of my ball. I'm now going to find the piece that's on the inside. Oh boy, I don't know what side it's on. I wasn't paying attention. Ooh, that's gonna super vomit. Let's check this side and see. Usually I leave the edge out so I can find it. Oh, and my computer sound is on. Okay. Blah, there we go. Let me untangle this. Okay, there's the end of mine. I got all stuck in here. Okay, so now I have the other end of my ball here. Okay, so when we are joining, I like to lay this down here to make a loop. Okay, boop, there it is. So I'm going to leave the loop there, and here's the outside of the ball. I'm now going to insert into this stitch. I'm going to grab the loop that I made from the inside of the ball, and I'm going to knit this first stitch. Now I'm going to drop my tail, and I'm going to continue knitting to the end. All right, so I'm at the end. It's time to turn it over. So we're going to turn it over. Now, there is yarn everywhere. I have yarn attached to my other sock. I've got all of this mess coming off of here. It's all just fine. This is a very small piece of color work, so feel free to get tangled. I mean, you're going to be done with the heart in like 20 minutes, so then you can sit and untangle everything. All right, so let me find my needle, and this needs to go in front of the needle. Whoopsies. This needs to go in front of the needle because I am purling. All right, so I'm going to slip the first stitch, then I am going to knit until I get to the pink. So the pattern right now, I knit I knit the white ones with white, and I knit the pink ones with pink. Okay, so here's the white one. All right, now this is my tail from where I joined, and this is my live yarn, but my live yarn and this pink yarn do not cross naturally, so we know what to do. We're going to just crisscross one over the other, and now I can take this one, and I'm going to purl. This one was a little loose. I'm just going to snug that stitch up. Now I'm going to purl all the way across my heart. Did a little fast motion editing there to make that a little less painful to watch. Okay, we're over here. Now, look at this. There's a whole other strand of white waiting over here for you. So there was no need to stretch this guy all the way across because I have 2 live pieces of white yarn. Does that make sense? So I'm going to lay this one down. Now this one and this one don't cross naturally, so we know what we need to do. We got to lay this one down and pick this one up, and now I can finish purling. Let's snug that one up. That first stitch is always sometimes hard to get snug. So now I'm going to purl back to here. So this is called Intarsia. Because you are using multiple balls of the same color, you start here with 1 ball of the white, you set it down, you knit across with the pink, you set the pink down, and then you knit over here with a second ball of that same color. Okay, so I'm just going to pull these up like this. So you are going to finish your heart pattern. You're going to take this strand, you're going to knit to the pink, you're going to do a little crisscross, knit with the pink all the way across to here, do a crisscross, use this white to come over here, turn around, use this white to come back to here, crisscross, use the pink to come back here, crisscross, use this white to come back over here, okay? So what's going to happen is once you get all the way to here, you'll do a crisscross, pick up this white one, turn around, and then you're going to come back here and you're just going to start knitting all the way across with the white again. So then you will have 1 piece of white yarn that you're no longer using, that's of course just getting tangled, and you're just going to cut it. So that one you can see on this one that I've already done, I have my live, and then here's the one that I cut, okay, and that just hangs. And then of course when I was done, I cut the pink too. So I have cut the white and the pink, and I am ready to continue knitting with the main color. And you can see here, I've just barely done the first row here, and I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the main color. So I have some work to do here. So Colorwork is so amazing, and I hope this segment helps you to learn both ways that you can do colorwork, because I absolutely love doing gloves and socks and all kinds of fun stuff with colorwork. So you've learned how to do stranded and you've learned how to do intarsia. You know how to get all the way through the heart. I want you to get through the 4 rows right here. After you finished your last little bit of pink, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of white, and we're still working back and forth. So once you get both heels to that point, come back here and we will pick up stitches so that we can get back in the round. Now, I did these heels one at a time because I wanted to do a little research to find the best way to teach this part to you, but you can absolutely knit across one heart, knit across the other heart, turn the whole thing over, knit this way, knit this way. It's absolutely fine if you want to continue doing them 2 at a time, or you can just stop and concentrate on 1 at a time and get them to the same place, and then we'll pick up stitches and continue. So I'll see you in a bit.